What up, guys? Darth Shredder here. Today I'm bringing you two videos. First one's going to be on warriors, and the second one's going to be on hunters. Um, these two videos are going to be about builds. Once again, just like I did guardians, I'm going to try to do one for each class. Like I said, it's all relatively the same. If you follow these basic steps, your survivability will shoot up so hard. Like, you'll be having so much more fun. You're not dying as much. You're killing a lot more. You're sustaining a lot more. And one of the big factors in this game is paying attention to how the other team is building and kind of countering that a little bit. But sometimes it's a little bit harder, but still, if you stick to these general builds, you will survive a lot more. Now, I'm not saying you're gonna be unkillable, because you can die if you position wrong, if you go in at the wrong time.
I am ready for some ass kicking.
But you will have so much more fun.
I'm the one who'll be here when
Do I
this
have
is
all
over.
these things? No, I think this is just a jungle thing. But yeah, I'm doing Bellona. Bellona's a very fun god to play. You can actually build her auto attack base if you're playing duel. You know, build like Kins or Xe. You know, attack speed on her and kind of just mollywop people. But if you're not playing duel, because duel's gonna be a totally different build, you're gonna want to build them the same for like conquest and
Lesson
clash.
number one: don't mess with the girl holding the
So
baseball
same thing
bat.
again as we did with Bacchus. I'm gonna level her up. We'll talk about her abilities.
Minions have spawned.
Actually, I'm not gonna level her all the way up because there's no point. We'll put one in each. So her square, which is this shield bash, kind of dashes you forward and slows them. Dashes forward, bashes with her shield, dealing damage and slowing enemies. Bellona gains 1 stack of block for each enemy god hit. So if you hit a group of 4, you gain 4 blocks. So you block each basic attack from them, and absorbs a portion, or reflects, sorry, a portion of damage around her. Then makes basic attacks with a sword and shield until she is not taken or dealt damage in the last 5 seconds. And it's the same with all her abilities, the second part. And then with every 3 successful basic attacks, she gains another stack of block. So it's like, it basically gives you a protection item. You just keep attacking with this, and every 3 you gain another block. And it goes away after you haven't hit no one. And then you switch up to your bludgeon, summon a hammer and spins and hits every enemy around here, and then smashing forward in an overhand attack. Each enemy god hit and the spin increases the damage. So if you ult in with your triangle or your 4 and you catch all 5 of them, you're gonna do a lot of damage. It's 25% per enemy god hit, which is a lot. Whereas this is just, it's a slow, it's a block reflect, and the scaling's on it's okay. You know, this, you're like, oh, it's only, you know, 150. You know, that's spin damage, and then you get the slam damage. So if you combo that at max, it's 150 with 310, which puts you at 460, and then another 25% of that, and you add that on top. You know, you're doing a lot of damage with this. But this too can be countered very easily, because it takes a while, and I'll show you. So when you come up, you go like that, and then boom. So you got all that time where someone can just CC you, and you don't become CC immune during it either. So it's kind of, if you're playing against a Tyr or a Hercules, or who else has like a knock up in the solo lane. Brain freezing right now. Just any god with a push or a stun, or just any CC, any warrior, you know, you will be CC'd out of it, and which just kind of sucks because it's one of her main damage abilities. And then her 3 to disarm, which is pretty good. And it gives you a light heal, and it kind of heals you a little bit and it extends out your basic attacks. So it's like that. Hit heal. Let's extend it a little bit. Well, I don't have no damage on me, but it does heal you a little bit. And it heals you 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. And then max, it disarms them for 2.2 seconds. Now her ult does a lot of damage if you can land it correctly. It gives you protections and physical power inside the circle. It's pretty self-explanatory. You ult in on someone, stuns them, bam, disarm. Or slow, then disarm. You know? So basically, what I'm kind of explaining it is study the god. You know, take him in the jungle, practice, look at, you know, their abilities, try to figure out what the combo is. And then if you played against this guy before, try to remember how they played him. And just kind of copy their style. Because at the end of the day, you know, they're probably playing it right. And if they're playing it wrong, you know, figure out what they were doing wrong and try to perfect it. So, first thing, same thing, you always get a starter item. So I got 2 starter items. Warrior's Blessing reduces all damage by 3. You get like a life steal by hitting them with an ability. It's 40 health and mana. The fully stacks gives you 10 physical magical protection. So it's a really easy item to stack because you just gotta damage the other person. This just 20 physical power, and it evolves and you get 10 pins. This is more or less if you want to get that early damage, but you almost always want to go Warrior's Blessing. And you always get Warrior Boots. So normally you would just get, you know, T1. You always rush Boots because you need that movement speed. Because you don't want to be boxing too early. You want to get a little bit of farm. You want to get your poke, and you want to get out, and then that's it.
Yeah, give me some of that.
And then get your Onsile or Runic Shield. If the mage is getting a lot of power online early, you know you want to decrease that power by 50. Go ahead and get that Runic Shield. Gives you protections, physical power, and health. Or you can get that Onsile, which silences them within a range of units for 1 second. It can only be triggered every 30 seconds, which is pretty quickly. So if you notice you're taking a lot of damage, you can get either one. This gives you 40 physical power with 50 protections with cooldowns. I would lean towards get Onsile.
This'll teach him not to mess with me.
And then, you know, get a Glad Shield, which heals you with anytime you hit an enemy god with an ability. You're healed for 2.5 of your max health and mana. It's only triggered once per ability. Or you can go ahead and get that Void Shield, which reduces physical power by, or physical protections reduced by 20. So either one's pretty good. I lean towards Glad Shields because that heal and that cooldown. So you're already sitting at 20%. And then this is where these last 2 items you would get, you know, if you're still taking a lot of damage from magical, you get a Genji's. Gives you more cooldown, health, magical protections, MP5. You need that mana, and your abilities are reduced by 3 seconds whenever you take magical damage. So it's really good. You can go cooldown faster and get out of there.
Doesn't really go with my outfit.
Now, you're sitting at 30%, so you really don't need breastplate because it's 20 and you're going to overcap your cooldown. So anemia is usually a pretty good pickup. It's more protections, gives you more a little bit less mana, but you get more MP5, and it reflects 25% off all basic attack damage back to the attackers as physical damage. And that's for anyone, not just for hunters. If anyone hits you a basic attack, you're reflecting 25% of that back.
Yeah, why not?
So it's a really good pickup. Now, last item, you go a pin item. And stone cutting's pretty good. It gives you 50 physical power and 10 movement speed. And you ask yourself, okay, where's the pin? The pin is the passive. You have to hit basic attacks. Decreases your enemy's physical protections by 10 and increases your physical protections by 10 for 3 seconds. That's a really good item to pick up. You get more physical protection and you're decreasing their physical protection. So that's your pin. So you got 30 pin right there. So it's a really good item to pick up. or if you really need to chew through it, you can get Titan's Bane, which is 30 physical power, and the passive on it ignores 15% of the enemy god's physical protections. It scales all the way up to like caps out at 40%. But I would lean towards the stone cutting. Or you can just not go no pin and get like Masamune, which gives you even more protections when you're fighting someone. It gives you it's active to 5 times, so it means if there's 5 enemy guys around you, you get 7 magical protection and 7 physical, capping out at 35 each. So it's quite a lot. And that would put you at 186 and 195 for protection from physical and magical. And the reason why she has, same thing as with Guardians, she has more magical protections than defense. Because, actually, no, not the same reason. Because you have a disarm, and most of the time you're gonna be getting ganked by mages. Because if you're in the solo lane, mid lane is usually a mage that can come over. And you can always switch that out and change, so you can always change this out too for this item or for Breastplate of Valor. And so you get more physical protection. And so it's kind of up to you, situational, what you need.
This'll teach him not to mess with me.
So it's pretty easy. Warriors almost always have some kind of healing inside of them in this kit. Either ult or just some more mobility. And then you should be good to go. So like, she has her heal with her 3, Sun Wukong has a heal with his ult, Hercules has a heal with his 3, Guan Yu has a heal with his 1. Almost every single warrior in the game has some kind of heal, whether it's in part of their ult or just part of their every use kit. Now for relics, you don't want to get like Aegis. I see lately I've been seeing a lot of people getting this. And I understand why, because they can soak up a lot more damage with that. But you bring nothing really to a team fight other than soaking up damage, which you should already be soaking up damage anyway. If you find yourself dying a lot, you need to look at your build and look at their build and see what's going on and what do you need to do. Shell's always a good pickup. Thorns, horrific. Even Meditation's been picked up a lot lately. Sprint, Blink, Bracer, just... There's so many other good items on there. Frenzy, you can pick up a lot of items. And Teleport Glyph's always a really good pickup, no matter what. Because you're playing Conquest, you want to get back to lane as quick as possible. And then late game, you can port to teleports after you upgraded it. So just look at this build should be pretty good on every warrior. Certain warriors you build a little bit different. You put different items like Tyr. You kind of want like a mystical mail just because it's really fun to have it on them. It's really good because you're constantly going to be boxing someone, pushing them, getting an extra little bit, 120, 160 damage off. But yeah, just look at the gods, look at the recommended, see what you need. Most of the time the recommended ain't too bad. This is just something I custom made real quick. I don't think you can look at recommended in this mode. Yeah, so just, practice with your gods and try to have fun with them. And just pay attention. That's it. And then next video I'm going to do hunters. What's up guys, Darkcheddar here. I just finished a video on how to build warriors and kind of play them a little bit. In this one I'm going to bring a hunter. I got asked to do Guardians and Warriors, so I did those 2, donked them out. Now I'm about to do this hunter. I'm just going to do Artemis because she's really strong this meta. She's really good. Just what you gotta know how to play her. She's she's not totally brain dead. You gotta have a little bit of skill in using her. But she's also really fun. I have 2 hunters with. I had one with the diamond border and ranked, and then I lost a game, so they're both diamond or sorry, platinum. And I think Kronos is like was ranked 20 in the world, and Huey was in like the top 50 at one point, but I stopped playing, so I'm kind of decaying a little bit, so I've lost those positions.
These inhabitants are not happy about us
So
landing
I'm
on
pretty
their
good with
planet,
hunters,
killing their resources. We might not be here
and
for
the
long.
builds are all pretty much the same. You know, there's no reason to build them all differently. Either you have a crit game or you have a pin game. Trap, pretty self-explanatory. Does a tick damage, root for 2 seconds, and you have 3 traps out. This is her attack speed boost. Increases all the way up to 80% and give you 20% movement speed. This is the slow. Pretty easy, self-explanatory. Sailing's on it's good. So you look at this and you think, oh, she really doesn't have any damage abilities. It's because she's an auto attack based god. So you're got certain gods that are ability based, or hunters at least. There's ability based and there's auto attack based. She's one of those auto attack based. How you know this is the speed buff that she gets, the speed boost. If you see that on any god, they are a auto attack based god. And then her ult does a lot of damage, it stuns, and it can bounce from god to god. So in a team fight, you can hit all 5 gods, stun them for 1.5 seconds, which is crazy. So how to build her is get Hunter's Blessing, get plus 15 basic attack damage, and then 10 MP5, and then you gain 15 attack speed, 15% attack speed, and additional 15. So you're doing an extra 30 with 15% attack speed. And then you go into like T1 Devos. Now here's the thing. If you're playing Conquest, get Devos, don't get Transcendence. Transcendence is pretty much useless. You need survivability, you need sustain. So you need Devos. So you would rush Devos, get T1.
Just what I needed.
And now you gotta play it by ear, whether the finish Devos or the finish boots. So if you need that power spike, I don't know why. You don't want to get, you know, warrior tabby, so you get that extra movement speed. Or you can get ninja tabby, you get that extra attack speed. So either one's up to you, it's preferable, it depends on situation. So if you have to pin on it, it's up to you to decide when to finish Devos or go ahead and finish boots. Because that extra little bit of lifesteal early game, you need that. Because from poke damage, just camps, anything, you need that survivability. So, let's assume you finish Devos.
Yes,
I'm not going to stack it, just because it's going to take too long. And then you get this item, it's called Itchavolt, 25% attack speed with 10 pin. And each successful basic attack increases your physical power by 10, reduces your target's physical power from items by 7, and reduces their target's magical power from items by 15 for 3 seconds. So it's a really good item to pick up. It just gives you physical power, reduces their physical power, and magical power. So it's a really good item to pick up. You can go into Kins or Exi. Depends on what you need. I do usually go into Executioner because it reduces their physical protection by 12%, so it's another pin item.
Heavy ammo is just what I needed.
And then you can pick up Kins, so you get 40 attack speed, and you're doing 3% of their max health, so you're hitting them for a lot. And then the last item, you can either get Jotuns. Sorry, excuse me. You can get Jotuns, or you can get Brawler's Beat Stick if they have a lot of healing. But Crusher is pretty good on her. You use that attack speed, but you don't really need that extra attack speed because you're already sitting at 178. So with that, you're sitting at 216 when you pop for 2. So I mean, you can pick it up, but you really kind of don't need that extra attack speed. But you can always pick it up.
Yes, I've needed a good attachment.
Well, we'll just pick it up just for this. Now, you gotta wonder yourself, why do I have 2 crit items? Sometimes it's gonna be a crit game. If they're not doing a lot of physical protection, or you don't see anemia, you don't see thorns, pick up crit. Go ahead and get it. Instead of getting, you know, this and this, go ahead and pick up, you know, these 2 items. Wind Demon, increases your attack speed and movement speed by 20% for 5 seconds, or you can go ahead and get Poison Star. It slows them for 20% and reduces their damage output by 20%. So, relics, you always want to get Aegis or beads. Oh, it's always Aegis beads. Meditation should not be seen on a hunter. That should be on warriors or guardians for survivability for the team during team fights. So either one depends on you who you're going up against. But that should be what you're getting. And since she already has crit chances in her kit, the more crits she has, the better off she'll be. Attacks, bounces, and then bada bing, bada boom. So with hunters, the big thing is landing your autos. If you're really bad at landing your autos, try not to pick an auto attack based god. Try to pick an ability based god like Kurnanos. Who else is ability based? There's Kurnanos, AMC. You kind of know just by, like I said, just by the speed boost, the attack boost, or whatever it is. You kind of want to use those guys, or just go practice, you know, an arena or anything like that, just to land your autos a little bit better. Like, there's no real secret on telling you how to do it. It's just follow them and just your aim. And I really hope this helps you guys. I know this is a quick video, just because hunters are very simple. You just chill in the back and just pop them, and then, you know, try to survive. Use your ult during team fights, and then back away. You know, just pay attention to where you're positioning yourself, and you should survive. Should be pretty easy. Hope this helped you guys. Have a good one. Thank you.